Welcome back to the Bronx for Yankees baseball on Yes, as the Yankees welcome the Cleveland Guardians for the first of a 3-game series. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Morakovitz. As Michael Kay already mentioned, when you look at tonight's Yankees lineup, there is one name that is noticeably absent, and it is that of Aaron Judge. Aaron Boone said earlier today that he felt like Judge just didn't look quite right in the batter's box in Sacramento. That prompted him to go up to Judge and ask if anything was bothering him. Judge responded that his shoulder was a little bit sore. That led to some imaging yesterday, which revealed a bone bruise. Here's Aaron Boone with a little more insight from earlier today.
We think overall good news, showing a bone bruise. He's going to meet with the doctor tonight. So hopefully it's a day-to-day situation. Could be a few days, could be longer. I don't know for sure, kind of based on how he's feeling day by day. But, hopefully we avoided something serious. But we'll have an idea, more when he meets with the doctor and then as the next couple days unfold.
It's a bone bruise of his shoulder?
It's more, I think, in the rib.
Okay, I was going to say, because that seems
kind of
weird.
affecting his shoulder, like
Understood.
Just more swinging.
So as Yankee Land holds their breath that it is good news from the doctor on Aaron Judge, it is going to be Jose Caballero out there in right field tonight. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Cam Schlittler gets the ball. First pitch next on Yes.
Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Tunnel to Towers. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to t2t.org. By Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. And by Nissan, hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. Mentioned Lou Gehrig Day around Major League Baseball. And June 2nd holds a lot of import when it comes to Lou Gehrig, because this was the first day he played first base. He had pinch hit the day before, so this was the second straight of 2,130 consecutive games. And also on this day in 1941 is the day that Lou Gehrig passed away. So we will have a lot to do and talk about when it comes to the Iron Horse as we move along. Cam Schlittler is taking his warm-up tosses out there on the stadium mound. Yankees just came back from a week-long road trip where they did quite well, so they send out Schlittler against the Guardians. This is the Guardians starting lineup. The youngster Bizana leads off. He plays second. Then the veteran Ramirez, that's second, and plays third. Then it's DeLauder, Manzardo, Martinez, Schneemann. Bottom third of the order, Kwan, Bailey, and Rocchio. Schlittler, his 13th start, 7-2, 1.50 ERA. All the numbers are great. So let's check out the Nissan Pitcher Scatter Report.
Yeah, numbers don't lie, Michael. AL leader, best in the American League with a 1.5 ERA. Opponents only hitting 185 against him on the year. A 12-pack, 3 runs or fewer in all 12 of his starts, and bringing heat, and he does. His four-seamer averages almost 98 miles an hour, and the Guardians have had all kind of trouble catching up to anybody with high velocity, only hitting 219 on the year. So see how this plays out.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Yankees, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. We're going to take a closer look at Jose Caballero out in right field. He's the Car-Shield Defensive Player Profile. This is his first start in right field this season, 22nd of his career. One of the values of Caballero is he plays all over the place and really plays well all over the place, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, you really you don't hesitate to put him in any position. Obviously, he adds a lot of energy to the lineup, and you just want to keep him in the lineup as much as you can. Notice he didn't have the war paint on tonight on his face.
No,
he took it off
not.
for the outfield.
So we'll start it off with Travis Bizana, 23 years old, made his Major League debut on April 28th. He's gotten off to a very, very good start, hitting .294, 3 home runs, and 11 runs batted in. He's ready. Schlittler's ready. And let's do it. Here in the Bronx, first pitch, a strike. We're underway. Chris Siegel behind the plate. Laz Diaz at first. James Jean is at second. And Eric Backus is the third base ump. Swing and a miss. Let's find out about Chris Siegel, the umpire scouting report, brought to you by your local Kia dealers. He's neutral. 51 calls have been challenged, 35 overturned. 13th big league season, calls fewer high strikes, more low strikes on lefty batters. The 0-2. High pop-up. Chisholm and Volpe. Volpe will make the call on the catch. One down here in the first.
We talked about the high velocity. We saw 3 fastballs there. Lozano just not able to catch up. And this guy is one guy that will catch up to the fastball. Jose Ramirez, we've been saying that for a long time coming into the Yankee Stadium. I think 13 years he's been in the major leagues.
Uncharacteristic batting average of 228, a 738 OPS, only a little better than the league average. But against the Yankees, he's always hurt them. Grounded foul. 67 games against the Yanks, a 332 hitter, 394 on base percentage, 13 home runs, and 39 runs batted in.
It's really weird. You can see him get off to a great start. You can see him get off to a bad start, which he kind of has this year. But by the end of the year, he's 30-30, right around 100 RBIs and 300 hitter.
That one's deep center, reaching back and making the play is Grisham. He was coasting back there and had to pick it up at the last moment to retire Ramirez.
Such a funny thing when you're an outfielder. You think you've got a beat on it, and all the ball that keeps carrying and carrying, and you know, he doesn't like panic. You see a lot of outfielders at the end of a play kind of like panic and you know, kind of jab at the baseball. Always smooth. Lee Grisham catches the ball.
Here's Chase DeLauder. 8 for his last 22. 24 years old. Now, he's one of the few that made his big league debut in the playoffs last year. He was 1 for 4 in 2 games in the wild card series, lost to the Tigers. Started the season with 4 home runs in his first 3 games. He's settled down just a bit, but 7 homers and 32 runs batted in.
You can only imagine, you know, you're nervous as it is to break into the major leagues, but all of a sudden you break into the playoffs. I mean, it's like another level.
There's no easing in.
Yankees have one of those on their team. Ryan Weathers did it with the Marlins.
One and 2. There's Stephen Vogt. He has won the Manager of the Year each of his first 2 seasons. And he's got the Guardians in first place in the Central again. Foul back. You know, working out of the windup, Schlittler really rocks you to sleep. He really takes his time when he starts the leg moving, and then all of a sudden it's 97, 98, 99.
Yeah, there's really no jumping or coming at it or overthrowing. It's just everything is in sync. It's got that tall, long delivery. Mix in a curveball just to show that he has it.
Beautiful day here in New York City. Just picture perfect.
I was going to say, this is the way baseball is supposed to be played, huh?
I think you sign up for this for the rest of the year. You don't need 95 degrees.
No, we can hold that off, but we can also hold off the 45 and rain that we saw first month. You know, you see the scouting report on Schlittler and I knew I'd do it, Michael. The Guardians are kind of tuning up for the fastball. I mean, you know you're going to get it. And another great play by Grisham. Another easy inning from Cam Schlittler.
I'm not sure he knew he was going to get this, but he did. Yankees coming to the plate. Trent Grisham, a nice play for the final out of the top of the first inning. So Schlittler works a 1-2-3. High fives all around. Now the Yankees will send up their batting order in this order. Ben Rice at first base. Paul Goldschmidt, the DH, bats second. And you see what he's done against lefty pitching this year. Cody Bellinger in left. Now the middle third. Cleaning up is the third baseman, Ahmed Rosario. Trent Grisham in center. Anthony Volpe will play shortstop and bat sixth. At the bottom third, Jazz Chisholm Jr. coming off his Tonight Show appearance. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth, playing right field, Jose Caballero. And Austin Wells will catch and he'll bat ninth. And Joey Cantillo is going to make the start. The left-hander, 13th start, 4-2, 3.57. A lot of walks there in 58 innings, but let's check out the Nissan pitcher's scatter report.
He's got a good changeup. Well, hitter's only hitting 162, but the Yankees' only problem is hit changeups very well. Reverse splits. Over his career, lefties hit higher than the righties, and you mentioned it, Michael, trouble with walks. Second highest walk rate in the American League.
You go into that reverse splits, Paul, against righty batters, they hit 217 against them. Left-handed batters hit 261. Now this year against lefties, Ben Rice is at 305. He's done quite well, and we know that Bellinger's the best in baseball lefty on lefty. Now Rice in the initial lineup was the DH and Goldschmidt played first, and then they changed it. We have not heard the reason why.
You need a reason, Michael, because you had to change your lineup card. You know, I don't need a reason. You need a reason.
Well, I need a reason because Goldschmidt is a superior first baseman defensively.
How about maybe he's played 10 games in a row and you just want to get Ben Rice out of the field?
Maybe that could be it.
Reason?
That's the kind of reasoning I like. And here's Paul Goldschmidt, the DH. Last 21 games hitting 306. One and 0.
If you look at Goldschmidt, you know, this year, last year, kind of obviously in the twilight of his career, the Hall of Fame career probably, but he's been such a good pickup for the Yankees. You know, he plays great defense. He owns left-handed hitters. Such a presence in the locker room with the younger players.
And during the road trip, Aaron Boone was talking about how he's actually a mentor for Ben Rice. Ben Rice follows him around, how to play, how to prepare, things like that. And Ben Rice essentially took first base. Called paying it forward. Right field on the run, Martinez, and he's not going to get there. It's a fair ball. And then it bounces into the seats for a double. The first base ump, Las Diaz, initially put up the foul ball sign and then quickly moved toward a fair ball. His hands got straight up in the air, and that means foul.
Is that kind of the unknown when they're straight up in the air? I could still go either way here. Well, let's take a look here. I mean, not a lot of room, obviously. It looks like it just caught the right side of the chalk. Yeah, it left a little divot there on the chalk line.
Yankees have the best run differential in the first inning of any team in baseball, so have an opportunity to score right here. Big cut there by Bellinger.
You know, he missed that, but that was an impressive swing on a curveball first pitch. That means, you know, he really almost doubled and really took a big swing, meaning he really picked up the ball well. And, you know, the first time you see a curveball from a lefty, it's pretty impressive.
Check out the Guardians defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Kwan, Schneemann, and Martinez left to right in the outfield. Ramirez, Rocchio, Bazana, and Manzardo. Patrick Bailey, he's one of the better defenders behind the plate. He's won 2 straight Gold Gloves. Those were with the Giants. And Chase DeLauder is the DH. So Bellinger overall hitting 271, but here at Yankee Stadium, 100 points better. He's 371 here in the Bronx, 198 on the road.
Yeah, really comfortable here. And this is a situation with 2 strikes where he usually starts going to the left side of the field, keeping that shoulder in against lefties.
Grounds that one to second. And moving to third is Goldschmidt with 2 outs. That brings up Ahmed Rosario, left the Yankees in the series against the Athletics on paternity leave, and he and a significant other gave birth to their first child, Ava. So congratulations to the Rosarios. Who loves to hit against lefties. Play FanDuel's Daily Dinger for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. Here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Ben Rice is plus 500. The guy at the plate, Ahmed Rosario's plus 460. Bailey didn't know where that was, finally located it. Kind of a shocking pickup by the Guardians getting Bailey. Shocking also that the Giants would give up on him. Again, 2 straight Gold Gloves. But he wasn't hitting, and they decided to make that deal.
Defense is always important as a catcher, but there does come a point in time where the offense has to step up and be part of a lineup. Hitting 147, I think, coming into the game.
And their backup catcher, Austin Hedges, also doesn't hit. Great defender. Ground ball, shortstop, Rocchio. And that'll do it. So the double by Goldschmidt is wasted. Yankee strand 1 will go to the second. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Kyle Manzardo will lead off. Manzardo, Martinez, and Schneemann against Cam Slittler.
Michael, you see that batter's box on the as a right-handed hitter. You're not going to see the Guardians messing that up now. Did you see their lineup? All left-handers and switch hitters. So against Slittler, you have 9 consecutive lefties going to the plate.
Now, David Cohn has told us that sometimes plays in the pitcher's favor, because you can concentrate on just that one side, and if you throw a couple of righties in there, it does discombobulate him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as a pitcher just mowing through, and all of a sudden they go to the stretch. It's just a little bit different facing righties and lefties.
And you saw that stat. They have the platoon advantage 78.2% of the time, more than any team in baseball, and that's what a manager wants. He can play with his the toys. Got a lot in the toolbox. Manzardo's been a little better over the last couple of weeks, but still a down year after a good season last year. And he had 27 homers and a 768 OPS. He's at 220 right now. Paul mentioned this earlier. Cleveland against 95 or more per hour fastballs. They had 219. 23rd. They slug 328. That's 26th. And they strike out 22.7% of the time. That's middle of the pack. There's a strikeout. The first for Slittler.
If you really break down all their numbers, Michael, and as you'd watch Slittler's first strikeout upstairs, kind of a two-seamer running away, but gets by him. They really don't stick out in any category. They catch the ball somewhat. Their starting pitcher's above average. They have a really, great closer in Smith. But they offensively are not great. Defensively, okay, but they know how to compete. They know how to win.
Angel Martinez fouls off the first pitch. Well, they scored just a smidge over 4 runs per game. That's 21st in baseball. Batting average 232. That's 25th. They do get on baseball. They get on base at a 320 clip. That's 12th. They slug at 371. That's 27th. And they don't hit that many home runs. Check swing, slow roller. Slittler fields. Throws low. And Rice picks it. The second out.
It seems like such an easy play for a pitcher, but you're used to throwing off the mound, and all of a sudden, you're not in a windup, and you see this a lot. Throwing the ball to first base. Remember CC Sabathia hated to throw the ball to first base,
and didn't like getting bunted on.
Yeah.
So here's Daniel Schneemann. Schneemann backs up at shortstop, second base, third base, and center field. And he still gets to start about 70% of the time.
Yeah, that's just not a utility guy, Michael. That's like a super utility. When you go outfield, infield, anywhere, it's really what has happened to the game when you want bench players, but it's not as easy to just go out and play anywhere on a major league field.
Now, last season he was a finalist for the American League Gold Glove at the utility position, but that went to Mauricio Dubon. Poured in a fastball on 3-0. So the count full. Schlittler, a lot of pride in being a power pitcher that doesn't walk people. Top of the second inning here in the Bronx. So 3-0 to 3-2 to a pop-up and a pop-out to Volpe. 6 up, 6 down against Schlittler. We'll go to the bottom of the second at the stadium.
Injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. You see Aaron Judge in the dugout, an unfamiliar spot for him. He is usually in that starting lineup, but that was not the case tonight. He's been dealing with some shoulder soreness that prompted him to get some imaging yesterday. It came back and revealed a bone bruise in the upper rib area. Right now, the Yankees are optimistic that he is going to avoid the injured list. Aaron Boone calling it a day-to-day situation, but he was scheduled to see the team doctor today. We should have more information in the postgame, Michael, but it goes without saying that is a guy they do not want to lose for any length of time.
Well, we've seen Meredith when he's out of the lineup for an extended period. It's a big step back. Remember when he had the injury in Dodger Stadium, kind of derailed the entire season. But the Yankees, when you talk to them today, I think they felt a little relief, Paul.
Yeah.
They think they did dodge one here.
Well, you got to realize when Aaron Judge hits the ground, that's not a normal guy hitting the ground. I mean, he's 6'7", 280-some pounds. I mean, that's a lot of force.
And guys, it was actually some of the at-bats in Sacramento that had Aaron Boone going over to Aaron Judge and asking him, is everything okay? He said something just didn't look right to him when he was in the batter's box. Judge said to Boone that it had bothered him swinging, but it did not affect his throwing, so that's something to keep in mind. But Boone went over to Judge, and that's how the whole imaging happened yesterday, them saying, you need to go get this checked out.
And it didn't affect his throwing at all because he made a magnificent throw in Kansas City to nail a runner at home plate. So it just bothered him when he was swinging. 3-1 on Grisham. And there's ball 4. And that brings up Anthony Volpe. In that 13-run third inning on Sunday, Volpe was 2 for 2. A couple of stolen bases, 2 runs scored. That was in 1 inning. And he was on deck for his third at bat when the 18th player, which was Grisham, made an out.
Still to this day, I don't know that it'll ever happen again. The 2 grand slams in 1 inning off the same pitcher with the Dodgers. Who am I thinking of, Michael? Come on.
Was that Tatis Jr.?
Yeah.
No, not Tatis Sr.
It's a senior. Yeah. 2 grand slams in an inning.
Yeah, you would think they would have changed pitchers. And it was Chan-Ho Park. 3-0 on Volpe. Volpe had been walking, taking his walks, on base percentage in a good spot. And a strike. Cantillo coming off a bad start against Washington, 2 innings, 4 runs. But the ERA is still pretty good, 3.57. Popped up, shallow center. Schneemann on the run, coming in. He's there to make the play.
Went over the league and you know, their numbers, and it's the Yankees and Indians tied for stolen bases with 55. So it's you know, they do run.
Now Bailey catches 30.6% of base stealers. And the major league average is 24.8%. So Chisholm had some late night exposure yesterday on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Said the Yankees were going to win the World Series.
Well, you know what? When you get on national TV and then you say something like that, it doesn't go away. You know that?
He had a nice fit.
Wow.
I like the little lunchbox, which is not really a lunchbox.
Yankees branded, though, Michael. I
Yeah.
spoke with him about that appearance earlier today, and he was so excited to tell me about it, saying the Tonight Show actually reached out to him, and he couldn't believe it. Of course he was going to do it. He said it was a great time, and I don't know if you heard it. He actually told a story about meeting Michael Jordan when he was a little kid. His stepdad was helping out with the Michael Jordan softball tournament or camp in the Bahamas, and Jazz was kind of somewhere where he maybe wasn't supposed to be, and he went up to Jordan and asked him for an autograph, and Michael said to him, "Why don't you be somebody when you grow up whose autograph I want?" And Jazz said from that moment on, he wanted to be a Jordan brand athlete because he knew when he signed that contract, he'd finally have his autograph. And he's been wearing Jordan ever since he got to the big leagues. Has not yet met Michael Jordan, though.
But he met him in the Bahamas. He hasn't met him since.
Well, not since,
Right.
yes. He hasn't been able to tell him that he made good on be somebody whose autograph I want.
Well, you know what? Michael watches every game on Yes, so he
Oh,
now
is that
knows.
right?
Yeah, big Yes fan. He's got the Jordan, Jordans on.
After golf, straight home on the couch. Yes.
Absolutely. And some NASCAR.
We just really got trumped on that story, Michael. That Meredith did her homework down there.
Strike three. Chisholm down looking.
Well, a lot of curveballs to lefties, and you know, every once in a while you get that in the back of your mind, and you just watch a four-seam fastball go right down the middle. You can't pull the trigger.
There's Caballero. Well, here's the difference, Paul. Like where we are in our lives. I was in bed before the Tonight Show last night. Meredith was about to go out, and she watched the entire Tonight Show and then went out. So there's a big difference.
It is kind of sad that you know, when you talk about the Tonight Show, it used to be our like a happy zone.
Absolutely.
Now you're, you know,
Now it's our REM zone.
yeah, you just you wake up and you just missed it.
Guys, I was snug as a bug in a rug. I watched it this morning.
Oh, okay.
I was asleep at 8 p.m. You know me, Michael.
Right, we'll go with that. Grisham leads off first. And a strike. 0-2.
Battery challenging the strike call.
Oh, it's being challenged by Caballero. T-Mobile ABS
The
challenge.
pitch is a strike. New York
the
has one
challenge wrong.
challenge remaining.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Caballero looked back, and Bailey was saying, yeah, it was a strike. I've never seen a hitter ask a catcher after he challenged.
Also, when he got back to the dugout, Paul, he probably heard you say he didn't have
The war
eye
paint?
black on. He put it on. Swing and a miss. And Caballero down on strikes. Yankees strand one will go to the third. A little segment that we like to call.
How about that?
It's about Lou Gehrig. Stepping away from baseball, his number 4 became the first jersey number retired by a major league team. After baseball, he was appointed to the New York City Parole Board by Mayor LaGuardia, where he worked with troubled youth, and he was reportedly born at a staggering 14 pounds. Right, Mel?
I mean, how about that with a 14-pounder?
Now, there is a tie-in here. Amazingly enough, you know, we always have the segment, How About That, which was, you know, Mel Allen. Mel Allen began broadcasting for the Yankees in 1939, and that was the final year that Lou Gehrig played.
It's all tying in together, Michael. You know, I just looked up on the scoreboard, and we were going through the Lou Gehrig stuff, and today, it's a Lou Gehrig's Day, one lucky fan wins one of the, you know, the prestigious watches that Oris put out. And as lucky as we are, Michael, they came up to the booth and presented us with a couple. I mean, what a unbelievable gift.
Yeah, they 15 managers tonight are wearing that watch, the Lou Gehrig inspired watch. And Aaron Boone, I believe, has it on as well.
Only, what, 2130?
2130, the consecutive game number. And there he does have that watch. It's a beautiful watch. So here's Patrick Bailey. You know, the incredible thing about the Mel Allen and Lou Gehrig connection, I only read this a couple of months ago, that when Lou Gehrig took himself out of the lineup, the Yankees were in Detroit. And Mel Allen reportedly went on a long walk around the city of Detroit with Lou Gehrig. And I never knew that, or I would have asked Mel Allen while he was still around. What did you guys talk about?
Yeah.
I mean, because he knew that he had this terrible disease to take himself out of a game. But the voice of the Yankees, Mel Allen, walked around Detroit with him. Patrick Bailey hits one deep to right center field. Who's going to get that? No one. And it caroms out and played there by Grisham. Bailey's going for 3, and he's going to make it with a triple.
Yeah, but the route that Grisham and not being able to get to it, a really good read by Bailey, who's got some pop. I mean, he only has a couple home runs, but this ball just kind of spins right in the middle. It looks like he thought he got it, but didn't even hit to the wall. But Grisham kind of playing shallow over towards left, and then you get a ricochet back. Caballero there, but not able to get to the ball, and it's just a good read by Bailey, knowing he can sneak into third.
I think he thought he got it, but he ran, and he got himself a triple. Yankees bring the infield in for Rocchio. Runner at third with 1 out. And a strike. Rocchio has been one of the hottest hitters on the team of late. Last 14 games hitting .372. And he's 9th in the American League in batting average at .293. So a tough out, batting 9th. That's deep enough to get a run in all likelihood. Grisham will make the catch. Tagging is Bailey. The throw comes into Volpe. So it's a sac fly for Rocchio. His 28th ribby of the year. It's 1-0 Guardians.
Well, this is what the Guardians do. You know, you get a hit here, move them over, you get to that extra base, you get a sac fly. Again, not a ton of home runs, not even a lot of runs scored as a team, but take advantage of the opportunities you do have and try to get Smith in the bullpen late in the game to close it out.
Yeah, Cade Smith 17 for 17 in save opportunities. His last 17 he's converted. Here's Bazana off the glove of Wells. Guardians had a good May. They were 16-16 through the end of April, and in the month of May 18-11. But they finished May with a little stumble. They had a homestand against the Nationals and the Red Sox. They went 2-4 in that homestand.
Yeah, they've got a couple young guys. Bazana being one of them, only 23 years old. He was a #1 pick of all of the draft last year. He's from Australia. Ended up getting called up at the end of April this year, and you know, it's done well. You talk about a long road trip after a season of travel, going back to Australia.
Yeah.
My wife keeps telling me she wants to go to Australia or New Zealand. And I'm like, how are we going to get there?
I do too, but I don't want to take that flight.
They don't make rockets. I can't sit on a plane for that long.
That one into left center. Bellinger is there. And that'll do it. The Guardians score 1. They lead 1-0. How about that indeed? Mel Allen. First broadcasted when Lou Gehrig was the captain, and finished broadcasting when Don Mattingly was the captain.
Welcome back. Austin Wells leading off here in the bottom of the third. Michael, as you mentioned last inning, today is Lou Gehrig Day throughout Major League Baseball, where MLB honors the life of Lou and raises awareness in the fight against ALS. And this was Ryan Weathers walking into the ballpark today wearing Tim Shaw's Titans jersey. Shaw was a linebacker playing 6 years in the NFL before he was diagnosed with ALS in 2014. Since then, he has founded T. Shaw Strong Foundation to help continue to raise awareness in the fight against ALS and also funds. Michael, how cool is that? Players around Major League Baseball with Tennessee roots are coming into the ballpark wearing that jersey.
That's terrific. Really great job by Ryan Weathers. Austin Wells with a high pop up to the right side. Bazana makes the play to retire Wells. So 1 down, back to the top of the order, and Ben Rice, he grounded to second to start the first inning. See all the players wearing the number 4. Lou Gehrig's number we mentioned earlier, the first number retired in Major League Baseball.
I've already had 2 of those moments. You know the old question, who would you want to go to lunch with over the course of history? Well, at the beginning of our broadcast, there was a picture of Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. That'd probably be the table for a lot of people that are big baseball fans. And then
that'd be an interesting lunch.
The walk with Mel Allen.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on, just to walk along and listen to that, huh?
There's a rocket to the left of dead center field as Rice picks up a single with 1 out.
You're watching Ben Rice just become an overall great hitter. I mean, his adjustment right here, just picking up a breaking ball, waiting, and then just smoking it the other way. Instead of just going up there and looking to yank everything out of Yankee Stadium, no, he is becoming an all-around great hitter. And you talked about the averages that he has put up against left-handed pitchers, and that's the reason for it.
Inside to Goldschmidt, and that's going to be challenged by Bailey.
The ball call.
ABS by T-Mobile. Let's check it out.
Get him talking to himself. Come on, come on.
Cleveland
You
has
probably
one
start
challenge
feeling a little
remaining.
pressure as a catcher, huh?
Absolutely. So both teams now are down to just 1 challenge. Paul, I don't think that teams around baseball and players have really grasped the template yet on when to challenge. Why would you challenge in the 3rd inning on the first pitch? I know 0-1, 1-0 is a big deal, but it was close. Why risk that challenge?
The only thing that I can think of that it has to happen so quick. You have to tap your helmet so quick that you really don't give it a lot of thought. You just think about, and you're right. Then if you process, you're like, why did I just do that? I might need it in the 9th.
Same thing, not to pick on Patrick Bell. I couldn't believe when Caballero challenged in the 2nd inning. Those challenges are valuable. That's why they're there, for a game-changing call. But if you run out of challenges, there's no change in that call. So the Bailey one was close. The Caballero one, a lot of the ball was in the strike zone. And as you said, he looked back at Bailey and Bailey goes, no, that was a strike.
Yeah.
Three and 2 on Goldschmidt, who doubled in the 1st inning.
Well, Rice only a couple stolen bases on the year, but do you put him in motion 3-2, hoping that Goldschmidt will put it in play?
He put it in play, deep to left field. Quan back, turning, looking, see ya. A 2-run home run for Goldschmidt, his 7th of the year, and the Yankees have a 2-1 lead.
Well, Paul Goldschmidt, you went over the last couple of weeks, and he has consistently just wailed on left-handed pitching. And another one right here. 7th home run of the year. Get the Yankees a 2-1 lead.
Now, we talked about Goldschmidt, Paul. He was insurance for Stanton going down, because when Stanton was playing, Goldschmidt was getting no daylight at all. But they've cashed that insurance policy now. He's been very important.
And the thing was, when he was getting no playing time, did you hear a word from him? You didn't talk in the paper. I need it back. You didn't hear any of that. He understands a different role than he's had most of his career. And right now, you know, again, with the question mark with Aaron Judge, I mean, his offense is huge.
1-2 on Bellinger. Bellinger grounded to second. That was in the first.
A little four-seam fastball, and right before he gets to Bailey's glove, yeah, it hits the barrel of the bat. A couple points on the board.
Still 1-2.
Right then, when you know it's going, Michael, and what a great feeling. I do miss it. There's some things in the game you miss. That's one of them.
I bet. And there's your favorite shot.
My shot. Look at the folks. Yankees don't come as a social event here. They want to see the team win.
Remember, that was Buck Showalter's line. People don't come to see the Yankees play. They come to see the Yankees win. 1-2. Popped up left side. Long run for Ramirez. He's going to get there. Well, it's on the screen anyway.
You know, and that same thing you told me, I think it was last homestand or something. I think somebody from Boston said it, and I think the mentality is exactly the same with the Yankees. They expect to win 100. Fans expect you to win 100 games a year and go to the World Series, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But they can't put up with the other 62 that you got to lose to win the 100.
I think it was Lou Merlone who said that. And I walked up to him at Fenway Park. He said, that's one of the greatest lines I've ever heard. He said, it's true. He said, fans just don't get it. You're going to lose 62 games, even if you're a great team.
That's right.
1-2. Served into left field. Kwan coming on. They're playing on a hop. Kwan's an outstanding defender out there. And that one fell in front of him, so a base hit for Bellinger.
You know, if you watch Bellinger first at bat, he did finally get the fastball, and he rolled over. So he makes an adjustment, and I'm going to stay inside this with 2 strikes, and I'll just flare it out to left field. That's why he is so good against lefty. And you're talking about a gold glover out in left field in Kwan, just to dunk it in front of it. 4 years in a row he's been in the league, won the Gold Glove.
Big cut by Rosario. Quickly 0-2. Swing and a miss. Rosario down on strikes. Well, we saw this a little earlier. Meredith, what does this mean about Giancarlo Stanton? Does that mean he's getting close?
He's getting closer. He started his running program, but Michael, it will be a progression. He's been doing stuff the last 4 or 5 days, starting to ramp it up a little bit. When I asked Aaron Boone when we can expect him back, he said it still could be a couple of weeks, plural. So time will tell how long it is, but the fact that he started this running program certainly a step in the right direction for Giancarlo Stanton.
I saw him in the batting cage, and I said, "How you feel?" He said, "I feel really good." And I looked down. I said, "With those calves, you can hurt them. I mean, they're huge." I said, "Look at mine. Look like these little deer legs." He said, "Maybe I need those."
Strike, runner goes. The throw goes into center field. Stolen base for Bellinger, but he'll stay right there. Bellinger, like he might have banged himself up here.
Yeah, it looks like, he didn't quite make contact with the base, which keeps that knee in the dirt a little bit longer. You don't pop up. I was just talking about having a conversation with Stanton. You just walk away from some people and just like, such a nice guy. He just says the right stuff. You feel bad that, his body will not allow him to get that 162 in.
Now, did you compare calves, or he just took your word for it?
I pulled my jeans up, which I can because I don't have any calves, but it's just like, really? I told him, you know what? Back in the Michael Jordan had no calves, and he did all right.
Did all right. One and two on Grisham. High fly ball. Schneemann will put it away, and that'll do it. But the Yankees scored 2 runs on this one swing. A 4-seam fastball goes the other way into the left field seats, and when it lands, it's 2-1 Yanks. As leads off the 4th inning, it's time for some straight talk stats. Ramirez, second franchise history home runs, first extra base hit, second stolen bases, first in games. Pretty amazing. The first in home runs is Jim Thome. He's in the Hall of Fame. Jose Ramirez is headed to the Hall of Fame.
Well, if you look at all those numbers, the seconds, they're all reachable. He just signed another extension, another 7 years they put. He's been in the game so long, 13 years, but only 33 years old. So, he could be the all-time leader in most offensive categories for the Guardians when he finishes.
He is a guy who has signed undervalued extensions just to stay here. He doesn't want to play anywhere else. And before he signed this previous extension, they were trading him. And then he said, let's get something done. And he did something that the Guardians could absorb with their payroll limitations. And then they signed him to another extension, as Paul said. Two and two. So in January, he and the team scrapped the remaining 3 years in his contract and agreed to another extension. This one, 7 years, $175 million, taking him through his age 39 season. So 7 years, 175. That's a nice contract. But a player like Jose Ramirez, constant MVP candidate, would get more if he went on the open market.
Yeah, you talk about the MVP, right? 6 times. 6 times he's been in the top 5. And, he plays in a smaller market. You just don't hear about him as much. Well,
that one's wrapped to right field, up against the wall, playing it out. There's Caballero. Spins and fires in. But Ramirez with a leadoff double. It's time for the Mohegan Sun Team Scouting Report on the Guardians.
Well, I can't drive 55. You remember that song, Michael?
Sure.
Cleveland and the Yankees have the most stolen bases in the American League. They are tied at 55. And riding with the rookies, you saw Lozana leads off, and DeLauer, he's hits third. So they're really got a lot of stock on a couple #1 draft club. And the big thing is Cade. You got to get to Cade, the closer, leading baseball with 20 saves. And you mentioned it, Mike, 17 consecutive last time out.
Here's Chase DeLauder. Now, I've got some bad news for you.
Bad.
Somebody chasing you. On the road trip, 6 games, every single pitcher scouting report, every single one of the items, Cone went with a song.
Coney's rocking the music.
Yeah.
Now, I feel, like I got to give people a break because they might not be music fans. Coney's all in.
Yeah, he's all in. We're meeting on the mound.
Michael, did he steal it from me? I'm just asking.
I would hate to, promote any unrest with the people in the booth.
Up in the booth?
No, I don't like that.
I like it, though. I do like it. Gives me a good break from Mahjong. That's the new thing. I've played it like 4 times, and I feel
You're
like
playing Mahjong now?
Yeah, of course I am. I had a lot
You
of
and
time.
Larry David.
I had a lot of time on my hands.
Wow.
You know what? It's not coming easy.
You never cease to amaze me. You're flipping tiles now.
Well, I had my first Mahjong the other day, and I flipped the whole thing over just to show.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
That's kind of like the Gatorade.
Cartwheels
of
on the
Mahjong,
table, everything. I feel like I lost an old friend down there. I did Merritt and I talked, before the game, down on the bench, where I used to hang out.
Yeah.
There's no Gatorade cooler there. It's just a little can of Gatorade that I brought by myself. That was it.
Three and one on DeLauder. There's your old buddy.
See, that's in the middle of the dugout. Now you can't perform in the middle of the dugout. You got to hide down in the corner.
High fly ball left center. Tagging is Ramirez. Making the catch is Grisham. Here comes Ramirez. And the throw is cut off by Volpe. Ramirez leads the American League with 20 stolen bases, so he's got some speed, and he's a smart base runner.
He runs well, and these are the chances that the Guardians have to take. Got to get yourself in, a position where you can score an easier run. Grisham does everything he can. He stays back on the ball, puts himself in a good position to throw. Ramirez, you're right, just has good wheels.
Yankees bring the infield in for Manzardo. First run they scored was on a sac fly by Rocchio. And that's going to be a second run. Caballero backs up. It's going to be more than a run. It's going to be 2 runs. A 2-run home run by Manzardo. And Cleveland leads 3-2.
Well, looking to get the ball in the air. He got a ball kind of, it looked like a cutter, kind of down and in, and that's exactly what a lefty's looking for. I was trying to figure out the read. Caballero, he looked like he had a beat on it, and it was like his hit rose up. Well, that's a new one. Right?
Yeah.
What are we sporting there?
Is that a Viking helmet?
No idea. Yeah, you see the hand around, which causes a little cut on the bay. It really just did not get down and in enough. Lefties just love the ball down and in unless it's, at that back foot. But he was able to elevate it, shoot it into the short porch out there.
So odd to see Schlittler give up 3 runs. Ties his season high. He's done it 3 times, but he came in with a 1.50 ERA. It's up to 1.79.
You see, lefties just love to kind of drop the barrel, especially here in Yankee Stadium, and you really don't have to club it too much. Just put the bat on the ball. You see, he went from that cutter, which he gave up the home run, and he got a swing and a miss, and then he just went to another one with the curveball. Kind of the same spin, but a much bigger break.
Strike 3. Martinez down looking.
Manzardo again, and when you watched him in the dugout talking, you could tell somebody asked what it was. He said, yeah, fastball. You know what? You're lucky it happened so quick, because it was a cutter. It is a fastball, but it does not have 4-seam spin.
0-1 on Schneemann. That's the fastest pitch he's thrown tonight, 99 miles an hour. He only has 2 strikeouts, 2 outs into the 4th.
Yeah, you can tell the Guardians, they're really geared up for the fastball. They're all kind of cheating, getting going. You're seeing a lot of foul balls. And you know, you've seen all of a sudden Schlittler starting to mix in breaking balls because, you know, they're kind of tuning it up early to get to that fastball.
And we find out what the celebratory helmet was, Paul. It's a knight helmet. Team went to a medieval times in Scottsdale in spring training dressed up like knights and wizards.
Somehow.
Swing and a miss. Schneemann down on strikes. 2-run home run by Manzardo. And the Guardians lead 3-2. Well, let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Anthony Volpe will lead off, and if he hits a home run or more, it's plus 700. Volpe, Chisholm, and Caballero against Cantillo. One and one.
There's that good changeup we talked about in the scouting report. Hit was below 170 coming into the game, but Yankees usually good breaking ball off-speed hitting team.
Now Cantillo is from Honolulu. His dad is from Long Island.
The strike call.
That's being challenged by Volpe, so this could be it for the Yankees if he challenges wrong.
The pitch is the ball.
Challenge
New York
right.
has one challenge remaining.
Close one to challenge.
Half an inch right there, you know, and as a player, you could swear it's a foot when you know the strike zone.
3-1. Strike. Well, we mentioned Cantillo's dad is from Long Island, and from this bit of information, it would seem to be his dad was a Yankee fan. He named his son his first name after Joe DiMaggio. Swing and a miss on the change. Volpe down on strikes.
Just good movement and good arm speed. It gets hitters way out in front, still holding that grip after he lets go of the ball. If you watched it, really takes a lot of speed off of it.
He calls it his Vulcan grip. His fingers are kind of separated. The Yankees are hitting .405. They're slugging .405 against changeups this season. Third best in the majors. Kansas City's first, Washington second.
Well, you have seen some really good swings from the Yankee left-handed hitters, especially on that breaking ball, which again just means that you're picking up that pitch extremely well from Cantillo.
1-2 on Chisholm. Deep to right field. Does it stay fair? No. Hook's way foul. Tap slowly It's going to be a base hit. Ramirez has to eat it. Infield single for Chisholm.
The left side's a good thing. When you've got speed against a lefty, just put it in play. You never know. Off the end of the bat, Ramirez knows he has no opportunity to throw out Jazz.
Caballero could have been alerting Siegel to the fact pitcher has to address me with 8 seconds. He won't even look up until it's about 8 seconds. Now he looks up, 8 seconds. And a strike. Chisholm has 14 stolen bases. And this is what it's about.
We're good. That's a ball good. That's a ball good. The second one. And there's no weapon in it. There's no weapon in it. There's one out of game.
Caballero said it's 1 a game, so Siegel is going to talk with the other umpires.
That's a pitch clock violation on the pitcher. That's a ball.
Well, Caballero got what he wanted.
Siegel seems angry.
See, he didn't look at him at the 8-second mark. Caballero's trying to deke the pitcher into doing that. So he gets a free ball. The second time he did it, and Caballero's saying the second time it's a ball.
I'm in the middle of the bag. I get it. But don't talk when I'm hitting. Don't talk when I'm hitting.
Siegel just said enough.
In the last at bat.
If anything, what Caballero's doing is he's rattling the pitcher, annoying him at least.
He's confusing us and rattling the pitcher.
Mm-hmm. Caballero's being very respectful the way he's saying it.
It's like when you get a bad order at a restaurant. They're just
But I
showing
said
with their
plain.
hands,
I
right?
said plain. The best thing that you can say about Caballero, if he's on your team, you love him.
Yeah.
And if he's not on your team, you don't love him.
He might have issues.
Yeah. Yankees didn't like him that much when he was on Tampa Bay. But he
Walked across
seems like
the
a
field.
great teammate. Walks across the field. He's terrific. Shows bunt, pulls it back, 2-1. No, we said this on the road trip. It's he must have a timer in his head because when he gets into the box, he looks down. And he doesn't look up until his 8 seconds. So he must get in at about 12 and then counts to 4 and looks up. So he sees the clock, then looks down. 12, 11, 10. And he looks up at 8.
Got a pre-shot routine, doesn't he?
Yep.
Pretty much the same.
2-2. Austin Wells on deck. Runner on first. 1 man out. 3-2 Guardians. Bottom of the 4th. Grounded foul. 2-2. 3-2. So do they send Jazz? 3-2, 1 out.
Well, Jazz is on his own. Sometimes a manager will force you to go by giving you the steal sign, but he's on his own anytime he wants to run with his speed.
Does not run, and there's ball 4. So an eventful at bat for Caballero, but he got a free ball in there, and that works out to 4. He gets the free base. So you might not like it, but it's effective.
It worked that time. Huh?
So here's Austin Wells, first and second. Both players on the bases for the Yankees have 14 stolen bases apiece. You could almost say with all those theatrics that Caballero stole first there.
Nice. Wondering how he's going to run the base. It took him a long time to put on all his armor over there.
Center field, Schneemann back, still back on the track, makes the play. Tagging and moving to third is Chisholm. Heading back to first is Caballero.
That ball hit hard. Schneemann gets a good jump, but it keeps carrying. It didn't catch it until he got to the base of the wall. Take a little look. Then you feel that hard dirt under your feet, and you know you're running out of room when you hit that warning track.
Let's check out the leaders, brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. So Ben Rice, there's where he ranks in the American League in all the important offensive categories. Got off to a great start. Singled and scored in the third, hitting .308. Yandy Diaz is leading the American League with a .314 batting average. 1-1. You know, through May, you look at the Yankees, they have the 5th best record in baseball. They score 5.17 runs per game. That's 4th. 15th in average, 6th in on-base percentage, 2nd behind the Dodgers in slugging, and 1st in home runs. Spoiled that one and fouled it off. So offensively, they've done quite well, and we all know how great the starting pitching's been. Now the Rays are losing tonight, 6-0, top of the 6th inning to Detroit. So it's just 2 games separate them in the loss column. The Rays have lost 6 of their last 8, while the Yankees just went on that road trip and won 5 of 6.
Well, they were here on that dreary weekend, and you could see, you know, they play a really cool style of baseball with, you know, high averages and running and things like that. But every once in a while, you could see a team's going to kind of adjust to the league, and it looks like they've hit that point.
Runner goes, no throw. So a stolen base for Caballero, his 15th. He takes the lead from Jazz Chisholm for the team. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Rice and a 2-2 count. Just missed.
You can see that you always talk about how they like to bring the glove up to the target, and you see how good Bailey is. They're trying to take that pitch that was well out of the strike zone. That one as well as Ben Rice walks.
And that'll bring up Paul Goldschmidt. Last time up, a home run. We take a look at the Optimum Fiber famously fast replay.
Well, Paul Goldschmidt, he's done it all year against lefties and clubbed a big 2-run homer there. Got a big opportunity here. Try to tie this game up.
Well, with the Knicks starting the finals tomorrow, I get to say, here comes Willis, as Carl Willis goes out and talks to Cantillo. Well, he has staying power. He's a really well-respected pitching coach. He does a great job with the Guardian staff. I know you go a long way with him.
Yeah, Carl, I played with him in Cincinnati, played with him here, played against him. I mean, just a good old country boy that loves baseball, and he's done a great job here with the Guardians.
Chisholm's at third, Caballero at second, Rice is at first with the veteran Paul Goldschmidt at the plate. Goldschmidt a double and a home run tonight. And there is a single to right field. Chisholm scores. Here comes Caballero. He'll score. It's a 2-run single for Goldschmidt, his third hit of the night. And the Yankees retake the lead 4-3.
Wow, it's a good inning. You know, you get things going, you get Goldschmidt an opportunity, a total different approach here. Went home run left field last time, kind of fought this one off and used right field here. Even on a breaking ball, he stays inside. Just laces it to right field. Yankees back on top. Caballero with good wheels, and you saw out in center field, Schneemann didn't even really take a throw hop, just tried to throw it as quick as he can to get the ball on the way. Guardians not out of it here with Cody Bellinger. Kind of inside outs this ball, a breaking ball, just looking to go the other way.
1-0. And a strike. So 4 RBIs on the night by Goldschmidt. He's driven in every Yankee run. Yankees lead 4-3. One and two. That's a career high in pinstripes. And we're only in the 4th inning.
That third inning, I was reading about in Sacramento against the A's. It was 43 minutes, right, when they scored all those runs.
Soft ground ball, first base. Manzardo will step on the bag. That'll do it. But the Yankees take the lead with 2 runs on 2 hits.
Guardians night home run helmet. Michael, you mentioned last inning that it was a result of a trip to medieval times in Scottsdale. Well, you got to see it to believe it. Take a look at that. It was actually Tanner Bybee who bought the helmet, but there's more. Kyle Manzaro bought a real-life sword. It actually travels with the team in a special case. They bring it out. Don't worry, it's not sharp. Nobody's going to get hurt. But pretty interesting story out of the Guardians. Nothing says bonding like a little jousting, perhaps a turkey leg. Maybe that should be our next field trip.
There's Stephen Kwan wrapping one through the right side of the infield. All I could think of is, Meredith, is if they went to Chuck E. Cheese, how the celebration would be different.
It would be very different. There'd probably be a pizza in the dugout. And
wow. Pulled out the Chuck E. Cheese on me. Man, I ain't been there in years.
Because your kids are grown up.
Yeah, I'm about ready to go back for round 2 here with the grandkids.
You know, I see all these celebrations. I see that, and I see the Red Sox. They put Wally the Green Monster, his head, and I keep thinking, would Paul O'Neill have done that?
Well, you know, sometimes you just play in the right generation. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't see you with the Wally the Green Monster head on.
You know me far too well. You know, we've been together for a long time here. I don't think we're breaking up either, man. It's been almost 40 years now.
Let's keep it going. There's a strike. Last time up, Bailey tripled off the wall in right center field. Average bump from 147 to 155 with that hit. You know, a lot of GMs don't like to trade for catchers in the middle of the season because it's hard to learn your staff on the run. And, you know, Bailey said, I feel like a kid on Christmas Eve. I just want to see what's under the tree. Hit sharply and off of Rosario, kicks away. And that's going to allow Bailey to reach. That was a double play right there, fielded cleanly.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It was kind of sliced from a lefty, which kind of gives it a little side spin, but just not gloved by Rosario. Hit hard, but again, an easy double play if he gloves this. You start flinching and reaching, you just don't pick it up, and you see the glove come way back, kind of under the vision of where your eyes are as a fielder. You want to keep that glove out in front of you a little bit.
That's an E5 on Rosario. Brings up Rocchio. Sac fly is last time up. First and second, nobody out against Cam Schlittler here in the fifth. Yankees lead by 1. And he bunts. And did it hit him or did he offer at it? So the third base umpire back has said he did not offer at it. So that's a hit by pitch. And that's going to load the bases.
Well, I thought this hit his hand on the bat, which would it be an attempt? Oh, he was bringing the bat back, yeah, and it did hit the hand. So, yeah, I didn't see the bat come back in live action, but definitely did.
Well, that can't feel too good, so they're checking out Rocchio right now.
Well, you've seen our boothmate Coney's finger from his failed bumped attempt from Atlee Hammaker. It kind of messed up his finger for life, and that's because it caught the finger on the bat.
Well, Sandy Alomar looks like he could still play, huh?
He looks good. Still can't remember. I still can't believe he hit that ball over my head off of Mariano. That's just not right. I look at him, I'm like, that's not right.
So Brent Hedrick is going to start wanted. Looks like Rocchio's going to stay in the game. Conference on the mound with Matt Blake and Cam Schlittler. It has not been his sharpest outing so far.
No, you're seeing a lot of fastballs fouled off. His curveball, he tried to mix in the mitch, but yeah, it looks like the life on his fastball. He missed with the one cutter that ended up being a big home run. I agree with you. It hasn't been his sharpest outing, but still, you know, he's only given up 3 runs to this point, and he could have 2 outs if that double play was made.
So bases loaded, nobody out, and here's the leadoff batter, Travis Bazzana. Yankees play back for the double play. They're in at the corners. Bazzana's 0 for 2, popped to short, fly ball to left. Foul ball in front of the plate, 0-1. Yankees have not seen the Guardians since last June, so they got those 2 series out of the way in a hurry. Guardians fell behind by as much as 15.5 games and made an incredible run to win the Central, take the Central from the Detroit Tigers.
And the weirdest thing, they end up playing into the playoffs first round, right, and losing.
Yep. The 0-1. Fly ball. Center field. That's going to tie the game. Grisham will make the catch. Tagging is Kwan. He'll score. The throw comes into Volpe. So a sac fly from Bazzana, and it's 4-4.
Boy, the Guardians have been really good with situational hitting in a game off of Schlittler. Every time they've had a guy on for a third base with less than 2 outs, you've had fly balls or a home run.
So that's a season high, allowing 4 runs. And now you have to deal with the very dangerous Jose Ramirez. He doubled in the 4th inning. Bat goes one way, ball goes another. Bat goes into the stands, over the screen too. Hopefully everybody's okay. Looks like somebody did get hit. There was a woman who got hit. She's on her feet now. She was crouched in a chair, but she stood up. I think they got her on the side of the head. So Ramirez back in the box. 1-1. First and second, one man out. 4-4 game. Tried a backdoor curveball and missed. 2-1.
Yeah, he's trying to mix that curveball in to get them off his fastball, but has not been able to throw it for a strike in the count, where he tries to put him away outside the strike zone.
Grounded foul. Line drive. It's a base hit over the leaping try of Ben Rice into the corner. That'll score Bailey. Rocchio is going to third. It's an RBI double for Ramirez, and it's a 5-4 Cleveland lead.
Well, again, he tried to put him away with a breaking ball, but Ramirez, if you miss, you're going to give up something hard, and this ball just kind of sat up in the strike zone. Curveball, but a lot of bite and a lot of height where he's able to stick with it and just hammer it just out of reach of Ben Rice.
This is the first major league game where Cam Schlittler has allowed 5 runs, and it's in his 29th career start, including the playoffs. And that double by Ramirez will be the last batter that he is going to face, as the Yankees will call the bullpen. Brent Hedrick comes in. Schlittler's night is over. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Ford stores, proud to be the official SUV of the Yankees, and by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Brent Hedrick, another appearance, 28 games, 6 most appearances in the American League. Yankees bring the infield in on the left side with second and third, 1 out. Jazz Chisholm plays back at second. Rocchio at third. Ramirez, who picked up his 30th ribby, he's at second.
Kind of an odd infield. I don't know if I've seen that. You got Rice playing midway. You got Jazz all the way back, and then the left side of the infield in.
Well, Hedrick could solve a lot of it with a strikeout. 2 fly balls to center by DeLauder. One and two. Two and two on the Guardians DH.
Trying to put him away with that breaking ball down and just kind of tugged it into the dirt.
Cleveland 5, New York 4, top of the 5th. And the count is full on DeLauder. Manzardo is on deck. And Holderman has been warming for a while, so he might be next in.
Yeah, I don't know if you give in here with a fastball. You've got another lefty on deck in Manzardo. You missed with a couple curveballs trying to throw the perfect one. I don't know that you just don't go back to it.
And he walked him. So he was ahead in the count, walked him to load the bases. All right, let's close the book on Cam Schlittler. We'll take a look at the pitching decisions presented by Sage.
Well, like I said, their situational hitting was very good today. I mean, he had stuff, but it wasn't his usual lightning fastball. He was getting a lot of balls hit instead of balls swing and misses. But, you know, what are you going to say? Cam Schlittler has been the American League's best pitcher so far this year.
Manzardo swings and misses. Bases loaded, so the infield backs up for the double play. Last time up, Manzardo with a 2-run home run off of Schlittler. Oh, 2. Now you keep going out there, or do you try to surprise him and bust him inside?
It seems like he's trying to put him away with the breaking ball, which is fine, but he's trying to throw it perfect now instead of, you know, just a good solid breaking ball down and away.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Manzardo down on strikes.
And I think that's a good reason why, DeLauder, you didn't give in, because you had another lefty, and if you make good pitches, you can get a swing and a miss outside the strike zone, which he did right there with Manzardo.
Boy, I don't know if he went around. That was, wow. No way. Come on, Paul.
You've been chapped right now.
Here's Angel Martinez. I was watching the check swing replay from down in the minors.
Yeah.
You cannot believe how much they let you go.
Oh, it's far.
Oh my goodness, it's up to the foul line.
Wow.
So if you swing, like if Martinez swings and the bat points toward first base, wouldn't be a swing. It has to break that foul line.
It's going to advantage the hitter.
Oh yeah.
So we need some advantages. You know, the pitch is getting to be too good, Michael.
Yeah, you're right. That'll counteract the 103 miles an hour. The 1-1. 1-2. So Hedrick trying to get a big out here.
Boy, this is be a huge way to get out of this inning and only be down 1 if Hedrick can get through this. You see that Martinez has seen nothing but fastballs after all breaking balls to the lefties.
Swing and a miss. Good job by Hedrick. A walk and 2 strikeouts. The bases are left loaded, and the Guardians lead 5-4. It's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Tonight's picture is of Mike, Dave, Jill, and Gianna, who are hoping to sing along to New York, New York when the game ends tonight. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game.
That group looked, they went to the gift shop before they took their picture, huh?
Colin Holderman comes on in relief of Cantillo. And deals to Rosario inside 1-0. Speaking of Holder, man, that was Hedrick in the top of the 5th. He really held him right there.
You know, really, if you look at that inning, you know, it was unfortunate for Schlittler that ball wasn't turned into a double play. But to be able to get out of that mess and only be down 1 run, you know, really good job.
Rosario 0 for 2. He committed that error in the top of the 5th. Could have been a completely different inning. 1-2. Fouled away. Swing and a miss. 0 for 3. With Trent Grisham coming up, we'll take the Allstate Good Hands replay.
Yeah, you go back to the first inning, you see a couple really good plays. This ball hit right here, and they kind of took off on him. But again, he never panics. A nice diving play going into left center field right there. Trent Grisham.
And a strike. Holderman, 30 years old, 5th big league season. He allowed 2 earned runs on Sunday. That's more than the one he allowed over his previous 15 games. And Stephen Vogt, the manager of the Guardians, said he has pitched himself into being a leverage guy. 0-2. With the Pirates in 23 and 24, he lived up to his last name. He had 48 holds. That ranked 5th in the majors. A base hit through the right side. So Grisham picks up a single.
Little breaking ball, but didn't have a lot of bite. Just kind of sits right there. And as a left-handed hitter, we're playing with 2 strikes. Get a pitch like that, you're going to hit it hard somewhere. Found the hole in the right side. It's amazing to me how many times, I mean, you saw Holderman, the first pitch, great pitch. Second pitch, good breaking ball. And then you hang a breaking ball. And you know, you go from 0-2 to one bad pitch, gives a hitter an advantage.
Yankees have out-hit the Guardians 7-5, but Aaron Boone always said not a hitting contest, scoring contest. And Cleveland's winning that right now, 5-4, bottom of the 5th.
I got you one of these times.
Well, with Holderman in there as a right-hander, the running game comes in more in play if you're a Yankee base running. And we talked about Bailey, very good at throwing out runners if he gets a chance.
Coming into this game, he's caught 30.6%, above the major league average. Check swing, grounded to Manzardo. He goes to second, one on to first. Not in time with Holderman covering.
Well, that could have been a big mess right there. Manzardo kind of had his head down and just turned and fired. I mean, this ball easily could have gone in the left field. When you wheel and all of a sudden you kind of bobble, I mean, this literally could have gone anywhere, but a good solid throw. No way to get Volpe on the way back.
Here's Jazz Chisholm, 1 for 2. Infield single at third base his last time up. Struck out in the second looking. Runner goes. Throw to second, not in time. Mishandled by Rocchio. So a stolen base for Volpe.
Well, boy, I didn't think he got a great jump, but all of a sudden, not a great throw on the shortstop side, and no way to make the tag. It came off the heel and came out of the glove, but Volpe was in there anyway.
Backdoor breaking ball misses. Caballero waiting on deck. Two and one. Chasing Volpe back. Still 2-2. Yankees through the end of April, they were 20-11. In May, leveled out a little bit, 16-12. And now this begins June. Swing and a miss. Got him. Curveball down and in. No runs a hit. One man left. We go to the sixth inning. Thank you, Bob. We go around the majors. Christopher Sanchez came in today as the only pitcher with a better ERA starting pitcher than Cam Slitler. Look at the month he had. Jacob Mizorowski, not too bad. Carrick Skubal, sim game yesterday, could return a couple of weeks. And Juan Soto, 9 home runs the last 15 games.
Is that Bob Lorenz I heard?
That is Bobby.
I have not heard Bob in the studio. I thought he was taking the year off.
No, he's
back in action.
Locked in, ready to go. And a strike to Schneeman. One and two. Heron warming up. Tip. Wells couldn't hold on. Swing and a miss. Dropped by Wells. Fires to Rice. So it's strikeout. Put out 2-3 strikeouts in a row for Hedrick.
Yeah, it's been the breaking ball that has really been an issue for the left-handed hitters especially. It's just a short little slider just going down and away. Good location. Kind of a different way of throwing it. The spin is not kind of as sideways as you pick up as a hitter, so a tough time figuring out what pitch it is.
Juan started that 2-run fifth inning with a single right. He has really struggled offensively. Just came back from 3 days on the bereavement list. One and two. Quan's always been a tremendous defender. Paul told you about all the gold gloves. But his offensive game, not what it once was.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it doesn't strike out a lot. 9.6% in his career, which is way above the major league average. 21 stolen bases that last year. That's way down. You know, he was a borderline 300 hitter for the first couple of years, and then just progressively kind of gone downhill offensively. But I don't know, when you watch what he does as a player, you really like what he does. You just got to get his bat going again.
Rounded up the middle, just misses second base. Volpe's there, and he gets Quan. Well, this Lou Gehrig Day, join the New York Yankees in the fight against ALS. Visit MLBtogether.com/4ALS to bid on the Yankees' commemorative bat signed by Aaron Judge. Join the fight against ALS today. The Iron Horse.
No matter how many times you watch that speech, we showed it in the pregame, you're just in awe. It's over and over and over again. It never gets old.
And on Mickey Mantle Day, Mickey referenced that speech. He said, I used to wonder how a guy who knew he was dying could say he was the luckiest man on the face of the earth. He goes, and today, I know. One and one. Yeah, if you look at the year before Gehrig stepped down in Detroit, obviously he had ALS then, and he had an unbelievable year. I mean, it wasn't a Lou Gehrig year, but if you think this guy's in the throes of ALS, and he was able to hit major league pitching like that, it shows you how phenomenal a ball player he was.
Yeah, it's I mean, when you see the numbers and you see some of our graphics, and it's always Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, Lou Gehrig, and they were just ahead of their time, as good as they were.
Two. Bailey fouls it back. Bailey, a triple, a run scored, an E5, and a run scored. Oh, yeah.
It's got your name on it?
Yeah. Got my attention, I'll tell you that. Swing and a tip into the glove of Wells. A strong inning and 2/3 by Brent Hedrick. We go to the bottom of the sixth. It's time to name that Yankee. Brought to you by Prevagen. From 23 to 39. He played for the Yankees. The only team he played for. 340 average, 2,721 hits, 2,164 games. And it's a 4. A little bit of a clue. Again, name that Yankee. Brought to you by Prevagen. Made for your brain. Bottom of the sixth, Montefiore Einstein. Guardians lead the Yankees 5-4. And it's a new pitcher, one of the 3 lefties they have out there, Tim Herron. And a strike to Caballero. Herron, 29 years old, 4th big league season. So he opened the season 16-game, 12 and 2/3 inning scoreless streak. That was snapped on May 12th. In the 9 games since, he has a 9.95 ERA. There's a bunt. It's a foul ball. He thought he had Ramirez back.
I think this game's mental, Michael. All of a sudden, you can't get an out from. You couldn't even get up a hit, and then vice versa. A hitter go up there, go for 20, and the next time, 10 for 20. It just there's no rhyme or reason. Your mind just controls so much when you're going well.
Hot one to Ramirez. He fields. 1 down. There's Austin Wells. Tomorrow, a starter, Garrett Cole.
You picked up the game notes today, Michael. You see Schlittler tonight, Cole tomorrow, Rodon, and then you walk in the locker room, you see Fried on the burner. It's just like the rotation that you're putting together looks so good for the second half of the season.
That guy picked up his first win of the year, Carlos Rodon. 2 really good starts. Coming back from Tommy John surgery for Garrett Cole.
And Michael, I spoke to Garrett the other day, and he said the recovery has been great. Arm feeling good, pleased with what he's done so far on the mound. But Garrett Cole, a bit of a perfectionist, said there's always room for improvement. Now, one thing he did say, this rotation is really a tight-knit group. He said we're always learning from each other. We're always talking about different sequences, different pitches, what we're seeing. He said every time you go out there, you can learn something from the guy that pitches before you. And everyone in that rotation is really a wealth of knowledge. It'd be foolish not to talk to other guys to try to figure out how you can get an edge on the mound. And that guy right there, Michael, Clark Schmidt, he threw a bullpen today. He told me today that he's going to be facing hitters soon. Doesn't have a date on when he thinks he could possibly return, but still a ways to go for him. But he was excited by the fact that that could come soon this month, facing some hitters and maybe back this season.
And really, with the embarrassment of riches when it comes to starting pitching, it's allowing the Yankees to take a little bit of a chance, taking one of their top prospects, Carlos Agrane, and moving him into the bullpen. So if he can handle that transition, he could be up here.
Right.
And Michael, Preston Claiborne called LaGrange to talk a little bit about that move, and LaGrange wasn't sure at first because he was kind of seeing it trickle out places, whether or not it was real, but they believe this guy could be a huge help in the bullpen. Matt Blake telling me today his stuff translates. It's just getting him deloaded a little bit and used to pitching out of the bullpen, get comfortable in that scenario, and then really getting him to the point where he can pitch on back-to-back days. So that's going to take a little bit of time. That would still be weeks away, but the move tells you he is in the plan for this Yankees team in 2026.
2-0 count on Rice. Just because this move is being made, the Yankees still look at him as a starter. But, there's a limit to the amount of innings they want him to pitch this year. Also, there's a need in the bullpen. If you throw 103 as a starter, you might be able to tick that up a bit coming out of the bullpen.
And it's also going to give him an opportunity to get his feet wet when, if they do go back to a starting role. But, where is an opening in the starting role right now? There's not. So.
Well, Paul, in a little bit, they're going to have to make room. Still some time Max Fried needs, but he started his throwing program. He's been throwing at 75 feet. He'll eventually get off the mound. But when he comes back, Michael, decisions are going to have to be made.
Oh, absolutely. And that could also be a decision that strengthens the bullpen. 2-2 with 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. And down goes Rice. And the Yankees go down in order against Heron. We'll go to the 7th. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by ShopRite. We are here. By your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by the New York Lottery. Play today and start imagining your win. New York on the left, Cleveland on the right. Got to go with Ferris Bueller on that one. Court scoreboard, it is 5-4 Cleveland as Rocchio leads off with a base hit against Tim Hill.
You know, Tim Hill, you come out in the on-deck circle knowing you're going to get a sinker. Might as well put it in play, try to find a hole, and he did. A two-seamer that did not have a lot of sink to it, just kind of hung there.
He allowed 4 runs in an inning on Sunday in West Sacramento, Paul, and that jumped his ERA almost 2. And for a reliever, it's hard to get that down. You have to have about 10, 11 scoreless appearances to get that back down.
Yeah, he's. I mean, his numbers don't tell the whole story. I mean, he throws strikes. He gets a lot of ground balls. Sometimes they find holes, but a lot of times they don't. And, Tim Hill, to me, is a guy that you continue to go to because you know what you're going to get. Rocchio runs a little bit, 9 stolen bases on the year. He set the Cleveland, we've talked about it, tied with the Yankees coming into the game with 55 stolen bases. And he's off and pacing.
And that throw a little bit high. So Rocchio in there with his 10th stolen base of the year.
Tim Hill had just gone over there, so he kind of knew his move, and he just kind of went on first move.
Foul ball off his foot.
I mean, this is a time as a lefty you don't mind rolling over a ball because you're going to get a sinker 99% of the time from Tim Hill. If you roll over it to the second base, at least you did the job by moving the runner over.
Off speed. Did he go? No, he did not. So the count 3-2. Runner goes, nobody's home, and he takes off and gets third base. The only one who had a chance was Tim Hill.
Rosario way over, and it really didn't break towards the bag. And you see Tim Hill kind of watching. Next thing you know, he's in motion, and there's nothing that can be done.
Forces the Yankees to bring the infield in. Still 3-2. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Hill. Bazana goes down.
Well, Tim Hill not noted as a strikeout pitcher, but boy, got a big strikeout here. Sinker, but went up in the strike zone and got a swing and a miss.
Infield remains in. Ramirez. A couple of doubles for him. Detroit has beaten Tampa Bay 8-0. So Tampa Bay now has lost 7 of 9. The Yankees can come back and win this. They'll shave it down to 1 game in the loss column.
Well, surprising he's been this aggressive going after Ramirez. Strike 1, strike 2 with the infield in. You're going to pick a little bit now and try to really nibble on that corner.
Chop, and it's a fair ball. Down the left field line. Run will score, and Ramirez will get himself his third double. Makes a big turn, but he'll stop right there as the ball comes in the Volpe. An RBI double for Ramirez, and now the Guardians are up by 2.
Well, just a chopper, kind of bad luck, trying to get the ball in, but it was out over the plate. But with that sink, he was able to chop it in the dirt over Rosario's head, and it stayed fair for another double.
He was thinking 3 there for a moment, then put the brakes on. Came in with a .228 batting average, but he's 3 for 4, 3 doubles.
Well, we talked about his lifetime average against the Yankees, way above his career average, and he's just always hit well against the Yankees here in Yankee Stadium.
67 games against the Yankees coming in, a .332 hitter. Oh, 2 on DeLauder. One, 2. It's his first 3-hit game since May 18th. Last 12 games entering tonight, 178. But he got right against the Yankees. Pickoff was on, not a perfect throw. Nice play by Volpe to make it close.
It's amazing when you walk off the bus in certain cities, Michael, it just changes your whole attitude. You see that ball just a little bit late. The Yankees have tried this time and time again this year with pickoffs at second base.
Still 1 and 2. Ramirez leads off second. Volpe's trying to check him back. And there goes Ramirez. Ball popped up. He'll have to scramble back. Volpe makes the catch, and Ramirez does get back.
Talk about timing. You were thinking that Ramirez wasn't going to get back. He got back in plenty of time.
Help America's heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to t2t.org.
And he caught his helmet. He was all basically how much time he had to get back.
Kyle Manzardo 1 for 3. The 1, a 2-run home run in the 4th off of Schlittler. And there's a strike. 6-4 Guardians, 6-7-0 for Cleveland, 4-7-1 for the Yanks. Tap slowly under the glove of Hill, fielded by Volpe, has no play, and now a smart play. He has Ramirez hung up. So he's in a rundown, gets tagged out. That was a really smart play by Volpe.
Yeah, heads up play by Volpe. You're not going to have any play whatsoever at first base, and you know with Ramirez's speed, just a fake, and Ramirez went on it thinking he would score on the throw. Heads up play by Volpe to save a run.
So that's 6-2-5 to get it done. But the Guardians score a run on 3 hits, 1 man left at the end of 6.5. It's time for the 7th-inning stretch. Cleveland leads by 2, but we'll stay right here as we honor America.
Direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest. The United States Army Captain John Arant. from Bayshore, New York, who served in Operation Iraqi Freedom and has been awarded both the Purple Heart and the Bronze Star. The Yankees say thank you, John, for your sacrifice and for your service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
All right, fans.
For the Guardians, 4-7-1 for the Yanks. Cantillo went 4. Ramirez a big day. Cam Slittler struggled. And Paul Goldschmidt has been great. He's driven in all 4 Yankee runs with a double and a home run. Hunter Gaddis will take over, and he's going to face Paul Goldschmidt. I'm sure you remember it, Paul. To me, it was one of the great big game at bats I've ever seen. Gaddis against Soto in the postseason in 2024. It was really enthralling just to watch them both go at it.
Yeah. Some of the bats just kind of ingrained, because you know where you were at that time. You know when you were watching it. I remember years before, it was kind of the same kind of a bat Brett Gardner had in the playoffs in Cleveland.
Gaddis outstanding at his job, 2.29 ERA over the previous 2 seasons. This year, he's at 4.40. More walks and his strikeout rate is way down, but he has made 7 straight scoreless appearances. And the at-bat against Soto came in Game 5 of the 2024 ALCS. Soto took him deep in the 10th inning to win the Yankees the pennant. .28 years old, 5th big league season. Upstairs. Take a look at the Goldschmidt home run in the 3rd. The exit velocity presented by Spectrum. 103 off the bat, traveled 386 feet, his 7th home run of the year. He's a triple shy of the cycle. Last Yankee cycle, we tell you this all the time, was Melky Cabrera.
It's been a while, huh?
That was in 2009 in Chicago against the White Sox. Yankees have had 15 cycles all time and 908 triples away from the cycle, including the postseason. Fastball upstairs, and Goldschmidt swings through, 1 away here in the 7th.
Looks like Goldschmidt wants the ball away here. This ball kind of runs up and in, and it's very hard to stay inside that pitch and try to do anything with it.
There's Bellinger, and a strike. Bellinger 1 for 3. 1-1. If you were wondering, and I'm sure you were, the longest drought for any team between cycles, you have to go back to 1990 for the last Royal cycle. George Brett. Wow. Shallow left center field. That's going to dunk in for a base hit. So Bellinger finds grass. 1 on, 1 out for Rosario. Hey, come out to Yankee Stadium Saturday night, June 6th for Military Appreciation Night when the Yankees take on the Red Sox. First 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Yankees red, white, and blue t-shirt, courtesy of Ford. Tickets going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Now, the Yankees have a couple of lefties on the bench. They have McMahon and Escara. They're electing to stay with Rosario, righty-righty.
A little surprising, really, to not get Manic back. You get a right-hander here,
and he has to face him, and then you're going to tighten up your defense at third. Fouled away. Rosario 0 for 3. He's had a rough night in the field as well with a big error.
It's one of those games where you think, God, that we're getting beat up, and then you look up at the scoreboard. You're only down a couple runs.
Yep.
I mean, you got a tying run at the plate.
1-2. Hits are even at 8. 6-4 Guardians lead. And that is a weak hack there by Rosario. He's down on strikes. He struck out 3 times tonight.
Gaddis has the ability to run this four-seamer kind of up and in, same as he did. This is a little higher than Goldschmidt, but kind of does the same thing, just ties a right-hander up. You turn it around and allow Grisham to see a righty an opportunity to tie this game up with one swing.
That one is popped way up high. Ramirez comes all the way in, and the ball is dropped. Ramirez came all the way down to the home plate circle and kind of infringed upon Bailey's territory. They ran into each other, and the ball was dropped.
Well, anytime an infielder calls off a catcher, the catcher obviously wants to get out of the way. And Ramirez, you see what he does as a veteran player. Don't look, don't stare. Just turn around, walk to your position. You know it's a mistake. It's an easy out, but Ramirez did come a long way, but Bailey not getting out of the way. Why was this fair? Did Bailey knock it back into fair territory? No.
We'll see who gets tagged with the error, and it's Bailey. So big at bat here for Volpe. Now, one of the reasons that I'm sure Aaron Boone will give you why he didn't pinch hit McMahon, Gaddis is tougher against lefties than he is against righties.
Yeah, he's got a good changeup, and that is always effective against lefties.
Right-handed batters hit 237 against Gaddis. Lefties hit 217. Those are career numbers. Line drive, it is a foul ball.
Wow, you're 5 feet having a tie game. Grisham probably on his horse with 2 outs. Score from first. If that ball gets down the line again. With the way this game has gone, so much trouble for the Yankees in the last few innings, but you are one swing of the bat from being right back in this game.
Volpe tonight is 0 for 3. Reached on a fielder's choice and stole second. One home run, 8 ribbies this year. Ground ball, shortstop. Rocchio gets the force at second, and that'll do it. Yankees don't take advantage of the fielding mistake by the Guardians. We go to the 8th. All right, it's time to name that Yankee. I think we all know this one. What numbers? Career cut short because of ALS. That's Henry Louis Gehrig, the Iron Horse. What a player. What a combination of Ruth and Gehrig. Ruth batting third, Gehrig batting fourth. That's how they got the numbers back then.
Well, he was the first number retired, right?
In all of Major League Baseball, yep. Hyundai scoreboard, 6-4 Guardians. Yankees bring in Camilo Doval. And Martinez takes outside. Yankees trailing by 2. Martinez, Schneemann, and Kwan. Strike, 1-1.
Confused, Michael. First pitch right down the middle ball. That pitch looked like it was up and away strike. Neither of them challenged.
They're holding on to that final challenge. One and 2 on Angel Martinez. Martinez tonight 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Two and 2. And the pitch. Fouled away. Crowd of 41,045 here on a Tuesday evening in the Bronx. Beautiful night. 3-game set with the Guardians, and then coming in on Friday, the Boston Red Sox. Grounded and through for a base hit. Martinez with a leadoff single here in the 8th. Let's go to the vault and see some highlights of the great Lou Gehrig. I mean, this guy was jacked. And players weren't always like that back then.
Before that was a cool thing.
Yeah. Out of Colombia to the Yankees to immortality. Grounded foul. 2-time All-Star. 7-time All-Star. 2-time American League MVP. Won the Triple Crown in 34. 363, 49 homers, 165 ribbies. 2,130 consecutive games played. That lasted until Cal Ripken Jr. broke it. 26-32. Grounded first, foul ball. Imagine you're a pitcher back then. You get Ruth out. Okay, here comes Gehrig.
Yeah, well, I was just imagining that Triple Crown year, walking into arbitration with those numbers. 360 with 165 ribbies. Okay.
Runner goes. Throw to second. Got him. And Martinez said, no. It looked like he beat the throw. Not sure if he came off the bag.
Yeah, Wells had a really good pitch to throw on, but he kind of short hopped Volpe, which takes time. It looked like the hand got in there. Yeah, it did. I don't think a hand came off either, but it didn't look like it felt good on those fingers. So that glove is supposed to keep those fingers safe, but it looked like it bent when it hit the bag. Boom, ouch.
I don't want to jump James John, but that's an awful call.
After review, the
Well,
call's
you
been
didn't sugarcoat
overturned.
it, Michael.
The runner is safe. Cleveland
how
retains
do
the
you
double.
get that wrong? That's what replay's about.
Yeah.
A call like that, because that just, you could see up here he was out.
Yeah.
That he was safe, I'm sorry. I mean, it's not even close. The only thing is if the glove came off and it didn't. Ground ball. Volpe. Not in time. Schneemann beat it out. Slow developing play. Volpe had to move to his right.
Yeah, he ended up not backhanding this ball, which causes him a little extra time by rounding it off. And you see if he stops right here and backhands it, but no, he gets his club in front of him, which makes his body, turn away from the throw, and then it takes a little extra time to get rid of it.
Martinez kind of caught betwixt and between. Does he advance? And decided to scurry back to second. Here's Quan.
Again, you see him to go around, and if he stops and backhands it, he'll get rid of it a lot quicker. That's all just extra time by moving to his right a little bit too much, and that cost him the play at first base.
Quan 1 for 3. Singleton scored. Well, Doval very preoccupied with Martinez at second. Now, one of the things you have to deal with Doval, he's not that fast to the plate. He throws really hard, and you can steal on him. Martinez has 8 stolen bases. And there he goes. Ball is bunted. Now, I don't know if a hitter could process all that quickly, but that's a stolen base. Why would you bunt?
Just going to say the same thing, Michael.
Can you process it that quickly?
Absolutely. If you're bunting and you see a guy in motion, you pull the bunt back. Yeah, I mean, the play's right in front of you. You see him running.
Ben Ryson on the grass at first.
See Doval really trying to slide step there just to quicken it up a little bit, knowing that he's having all kind of trouble from keeping runners from not running on him this year.
Bunted, third base side. Going to be a tough play to get him, and they don't. It's a base hit. Ground ball up the middle, and 2 infield singles, and the bases are loaded, nobody out.
Well, a good bunt. I mean, and it's not like it was a drag bunt. I mean, he showed he was going to put it in play, and he just deadened it. The ball really no chance.
So here's Patrick Bailey, and he knows Doval very well. He caught him with the Giants. So you think that Bailey has the advantage here. "100 miles an hour," foul back.
Thank you.
Martinez at third, Schneemann at second, Quans at first. Good speed on the bases for the Guardians. Yankees have the infield in. Every time tonight they've had that runner at third, they seem to be able to get him in.
You see those numbers, and it's there's no reason why the Guardians aren't winning this game. 6 for 11, only 4 men left on base in those opportunities. And right now, the ball realizes, I mean, all right, now I've got to change things. I'm 0-2. How am I going to get a strikeout or keep this ball in the infield?
See Bailey with a little smile when he's looking out at Doval. One and two. Swing and a miss. Familiarity bred contempt as he goes down on strikes.
Well, it's a hanging slider, but it, you know, kind of backed up. And again, if you're chasing this on the seams, you think it's going to break into you, and it kind of just stays out there. He had given up that front hip where he really didn't have much to go after it and just tried to foul it off.
Now the Yankees back up for the double play. Be tough to double up Rocchio. Swings over the 101-mile-an-hour sinker.
Did you ever think you'd say that? 101-mile-an-hour sinker. It's just everyday stuff now.
Oh and 2. See a little Alex Cora in Rocchio.
Yeah, I can see that.
Locked in.
Big bag of popcorn there.
Some peanuts. An ad for baseball right there. And that one's tipped into the glove. 103 miles an hour. A strikeout of Rocchio.
Wow, 2 strikeouts, and you know his numbers, righties have a much tougher time, but he's got 2 huge strikeouts on back-to-back lefties. A great location there.
103. Wow. So here's Bazana. A chance to get out of this. Time called. 8th inning, 6-4 Guardians, 6-11-1, leading 4-8-1. Each team with 1 ABS challenge remaining. He's just throwing gas.
101, 102, 103. All right.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. 0 and 2.
It's could be a triple-digit at bat, Michael. I mean, he's hit over 100 on both pitches. I don't see why you would go to anything else other than that hard sinker right here. Don't mess around.
Crowd looking for a strikeout. 102 low. Want to stay away from that guy, and if you get to that guy, at least 1 run scored. Bazzana 0 for 3 with a sac fly. Fly ball, right field, on the run, Caballero. It's in there for a base hit. He bobbles the ball out there, and that allows the bases to empty. All 3 runs score on the double by Bazzana, and the big blow by the Guardians, and it's 9-4 Cleveland.
Ball off the end of the bat, just hit into right down the line. Caballero has no chance. But this ball was in where he was trying to get the lefties out away. He's able to hook this ball in the corner and just break this game wide open. You're just thinking somehow, some way you get out of this inning only down 2. You got to feel like you're right in this thing, and then all of a sudden, 1 swing in the bat. The merry-go-round starts.
And you have to wonder where Doval was there. He has to be backing up home plate. He's standing in front of Wells.
Yeah, a lot of times pitchers, you get out of frustration. You kind of forget there's always a place to be on a field in a play.
And that was not it.
Yep.
And that one gets away from Wells all the way to the screen as Bazzana moves to third.
Again, a bad pitch, and then all of a sudden you just kind of like forget what's going on, and you forget to back up, you forget to go anywhere. And you just start running circles.
Yeah, that's a bad look.
And pick it up when it stops rolling.
Two and one on Ramirez. Josh Chisholm fields and gets Ramirez for the final out, but 3 big runs against Doval. 9-4 Cleveland. To Prime tomorrow to take on the Guardians. Don't miss a minute of the Yankees beginning at 6:30. Only on Prime. Garrett Cole will get the start for the Yanks. Doval going over that inning in his head. It's only the 3rd time this year the Yankees have allowed 9 or more runs in a game. And the 2 times, well, they were tied with the Dodgers and Mariners for the fewest in Major League Baseball. And the other 2 times were in the same series against the Angels. So you see Sean Armstrong takes over. 0-2 on Chisholm. Home Depot working on a win pitching matchup. We told you Cole is getting a start against Gavin Williams. And Gavin Williams, one of his idols, is Garrett Cole. And he was trying to meet him today. I don't know if that meeting took place. They're both represented by Scott Boras, but a lot of people have told him he looks like him. And they'll go up against each other tomorrow. One, 2. Pop foul over the screen into the seats. Any player you play against when you were young that you wanted to meet?
Oh, absolutely. I remember the first time I got called up, we went to Atlanta, and I sent over, had somebody go over to see if I could meet Dale Murphy.
Right.
I mean, it's just the players that, you watched as teenagers and things like that. It's just like, you were in awe the first time you met them.
And did you get a chance to meet him then?
I did. I took a picture. I still have it to this day. And, you know, and as you go on through your career, then you go to other places, and then you get blown away when you come to the Yankees because you go to spring training. And Mickey Mantle was there, and Whitey Ford was there, Reggie Jackson. So, yeah, that's it goes on and on. But, you know, I grew up a baseball fan. Some guys don't just grow up idolizing players. They just had the ability to play baseball well, and they got an opportunity to play. But I grew up, you know, emulating players in the backyard, trying to be their stances, I remember, I think I told you one time I was so crazy about George Foster's bat because it was, you know, he used that dark bat. It's the first guy I ever saw use it. I went out with lighter fluid and lit one on fire and just charred it all up. The next day I couldn't figure out why there was black marks all over the tennis ball when we were playing home run derby.
1-1. Grounded third base, backhanded by Ramirez. The long throw. And they get Caballero for the second out.
Boy, he is really, and you're saying, you know, he was off to not his usual start, but he's really shown what he does as a baseball player. 3 doubles, defensive, running the bases, stealing bases, pretty much just carrying this team tonight.
There's Austin Wells. Austin is 0 for 3 tonight. Foul back. Bottom 4 in the Yankee order managed 1 hit tonight. An infield single by Chisholm. They also worked a walk. That was it. So they're not getting much from the bottom. And when you take a Judge out of the lineup, all of a sudden it becomes a shorter lineup. It's not as long.
Yeah, I was thinking of that earlier when the Yankees were only down 2, and you're thinking, you know, you're one swing of the bat away from tying it up, and then all of a sudden it's a reminder, you know, Aaron Judge's not in the lineup tonight.
And if you joined us late, Aaron Boone said it could be a day or 2. It could be a little longer than that, but they think it's not going to be something really long. And down goes Wells, and the Yankees go down in order. We'll go to the 9th. Gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. Visit Hyundai.com for more information. And by Sage, proud accounting software provider of the New York Yankees. I don't know if anybody tops the guy on the right.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah. You know, he's a great lacrosse player, too.
Is that right?
Yeah. Some say he might be the greatest lacrosse player ever. Played that at Syracuse. Ryan Yarbrough takes over for the Yanks. Last Tuesday in Kansas City, got a 3-inning save. And he gets...
This frustrates you to no end, doesn't it, Mike?
I just don't understand how it's not done before. Let's check out the bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Yesterday was the day off, so everybody is good to go. They've already used Hedrick, Hill, Doval, and now Yarbrough. The one thing I'm seeing with the ABS and the other challenge system and the pitch com, the games which were getting shorter are now starting to get longer again. Not to the extent that they were, but you could see innings being put or minutes being put on the games that we didn't see in the last couple of years.
Caballero's bat was 15 minutes earlier in the game, but just by arguing.
DeLauder takes a strike. And also what you're seeing with the ABS, Paul, is you're seeing a lot more walks because pitchers have to throw the ball over that 17 inches of the plate.
It's just amazing to me, and believe me, I was a hitter, but pitchers do not want to throw strikes. They just really don't, and that's the cool thing about Schlittler and Cole and Free. I mean, they throw strikes, they get out.
I was talking with John Smoltz yesterday, and I said, would Greg Maddux have been Greg Maddux with the ABS? And he said, yeah, he said, because there's only 2 challenges. He said if it was ABS on every single pitch, that might be a different story. He said, but you have 2 challenges. He goes, Maddox would have figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
So the average 9-inning game time is up from 238 last year to 241 this year. Now I wonder, James, the Yankees work a lot of walks. The Yankees' average time has to be better than 241. It has to be higher. Swing and a miss. DeLauder down on strikes. Tonight on Yes, host Gracie Cashman sits down with New York Giants great Otis Anderson for a deep dive into the numbers that defined his career. Watch a new episode of The Story of My Number presented by the New York Lottery tonight following Yankees coverage on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. So a 9-inning game time last year, Paul, was 238 around baseball. Yankee games this year are at 248.
So you're telling me you do your best work at 238?
I don't know if I ever do good work, but I think that the Yankees' work counts. So the ABS is going to be giving the Yankees more walks.
Mm-hmm.
And not for challenging, just for the fact that pitchers have to throw strikes. And, you know, David mentioned this when the games were in West Sacramento in a blowout game. Umpires would widen their strike zone to 21, 22 inches. They can't do that now because they're graded, number one, and then balls could be challenged.
Right. I mean, you did. You pitched to the scoreboard. Umpires, you know, called pitches to the scoreboard. It's just the way it was.
Now, Manzardo had a home run in the fourth. We'll take a look at it on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud. 96.6 off the bat, 367 feet. So it wasn't crushed per se, but he got enough of it. Right in on the hands and foul back.
I gotta wonder if, you know, it used to be, and it's not anymore, where, you know, it was kind of the 5-run unwritten rule where you wouldn't steal, you wouldn't swing 3-0, things like that. If the challenge will even come into play there, you know, if you're beating somebody up, you know, you don't challenge, you don't do things like this to show people up.
Just missed. 2-2. Left side, long run for Rosario, and he can't make the play. Couldn't get there. Tried a basket catch, but just short-armed it and couldn't haul it in.
Well, I think he had more room than he thought he had. You see him taking a look at the wall there, and then all of a sudden kind of looking. He had plenty of room. When you take your eye off the baseball, a lot of times it doesn't end up in the glove.
-6 defensive run saves since last season. That's the 12th worst among Major League third basemen. You know, so it's easy to say, well, Rosario hits so well against lefties, he should play third against lefties, but you are losing a lot defensively because McMahon is top flight at third.
Again, you're playing to the scoreboard. You know, if it was a 4-2 game in the Yankees' favor, you would definitely see a defensive replacement.
Hits for Cleveland, 8 hits for the Yanks. Guardians lead 9-4, top of the 9th inning. Yarbrough deals. And Manzardo continues to foul it off. Manzardo is 2 for 4. Single, home run, 2 strikeouts. Three and 2. Long at bat. It's 11 pitches at this point. Here's number 12. And there's more.
Bonus pitches here for you, Michael.
And he wins the battle. 13 pitch at bat. Manzardo walks. Fans, when you get Gotham, you get live games and exclusive Yankees content. Download the Gotham Sports app to stream highlights, pregame features, postgame sound, podcast, original series, and so much more. And it's all free to access with an eligible TV subscription. So sign in today. Here's Angel Martinez. Fly ball down the left field line, foul. And the pitch. Good change. 0-2. Fouled off. Got a piece of this change to stay alive. Hanging in there. Swing and a miss. Good changeup. Martinez down on strike. Second strikeout for Yarborough. Now the 13-pitch walk by Manzardo, longest plate appearance of his career, and it ties the longest of Yarborough's career.
13 pitches. I was wondering, James, do some quick fingers over there. Longest at bat of all time.
Oh my!
How many pitches?
That's just unfair.
You got the whole bottom of the ninth. I'll throw it out there.
Schneemann takes a strike.
That's mid-20s, huh?
You think it could be that much? Your at bat against Benitez seemed like 104 pitches.
Seemed like that to me, too. And I wasn't getting any closer to hitting one hard.
The 1-1. 2-1. High fly ball, left field. Bellinger is there, and Bellinger puts it away for the fun one. No runs, no hits, no errors, one man left. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Yankees down by 5. Well, fans, stay tuned for tonight's WB Mason Yankees postgame as Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and Willie Randolph are in the studio with highlights and analysis. Meredith Marakovitz gets player interviews in the clubhouse, and we'll hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. It's all coming up next on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Well, James found out to an extent because pitch tracking only goes back to 1988. So since 1988, the longest at bat pitch-wise is 21. Brandon Belt of San Francisco against Jaime Barria of the Angels. That was in 2018 and ended in a fly out to right as the second batter of the game. 21 pitches on the second batter.
You like that?
Ben Rice swings at the first pitch from Matt Festa and skies out to Schneemann. One away here in the bottom of the ninth. So one down, that brings up Goldschmidt. Cantillo started, Holderman, Herron, Gaddis, Armstrong, and now Festa. 3 for 4 Goldschmidt is. And a strike. Doubled in the first, 2-run home run in the third, 2-run single in the fourth. They finally retired him in the seventh. A strikeout against Gaddis. That one is hit toward right field and slices foul into the seats. Well, the Guardians pitching has kept them, or should I say the Yankees pitching, has kept them in pretty much every single game this year. They don't give up a lot of runs, and they don't get blown out. As Goldschmidt down looking, they have 5 losses by 5 or more runs this season, and only the Dodgers have fewer with 4. So it's a pitching-centric team. They certainly hit their home runs. They lead the majors in home runs. They steal bases. But the pitching there, especially the starters, have been extraordinary. Here's Bellinger. And a strike. Bellinger 2 for 4 tonight. Aaron Judge sits out his first game. He had started every single game up to this one. 0-2. And the Yankees hope it's a very short stay on the bench. But they're not going to rush Judge because he's so valuable to this team. All likelihood, Meredith will have more on the postgame. Probably get a chance to talk with Judge after Judge visited with the Yankee team physician, Dr. Christopher Ahmad. That man will get the start tomorrow, Garrett Cole. One and 2 on Bellinger. 9-4 Guardians. This should do it. Manzardo tosses the Festa, and it will do it. As the Guardians take the first game of this 3-game set, they beat the Yankees by a score of 9-4. And the odd part about this game is that you didn't see a lights-out Cam Shilova.
Yeah, he wasn't at his best, but, you know, he did keep him in the game. The one double play really that was not turned hurt him, but, you know, I'll take him any day on the mound. He's had that type of year. So better days to come. The Yankees need to bounce back tomorrow with Garrett Cole on the mound.
All right, so the Guardians get it done, especially that guy with 3 doubles. We'll come back with more in just